What's up, everybody?
What up?
There we go. Yo, what's up, Daryl? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Daryl?
What's up, Joey? I'm good, man. What up, brother? What's up, John? Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to do like a little, I have Phil here and Tony joining me to hang out with you guys. But I am going to, if you guys have any questions about casting or molding or anything like that, while we do this, just ask and I'll try to answer your questions. There is going to be times when I'm going to cut the mic so you guys don't have to listen to the compressor as it fills. So if I go, you know, silent for a little bit, just ask questions. I'll type to you guys. But welcome. What's up, Josh? What's up, Mike?
What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing today?
How's everybody?
Everybody.
Trying to get Craig in here. All right, cool. Different ambient there, yeah. Down in the studio, it's a mess. You should see this place. My airbrush station is ridiculous right now. What's up, Rob? Craig, I just sent you the link. You should have it.
Use the link.
What is it?
Use the link.
Use the link, bro. There he goes. Hey.
What's going on, Craig?
How we doing, fellas?
Hey.
What up?
What's that?
What's going on?
So I'm going to get started here in a minute.
Excellent, excellent.
Did I just hear a baby cry?
My chair.
Can you guys hear the reggae music we're going to listen to in the background?
I don't hear it now.
Just as I said it, it just stopped. I'm not paying for Spotify, so I'm just like, fuck it. So I have to listen to commercials. It's like listening to the radio. I just want to know if it was too loud or not.
No, I think it's good.
Huh?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
So I opened your box, Phil. It's loading up now. I don't know why it's taking so long.
Nice.
What was it? Box?
Yeah, a trade box he sent me.
Yeah.
Some good old Canada.
Don, what's up, dude? I have an order from Nightmare Toys to do an exclusive run. So what we put together was a Creature from the Black Lagoon. You guys might have seen me.
The stone one.
Okay. So this is only going to be through Nightmare Toys and their store and their online store or whatever. But there's going to be 30 pieces. So yesterday I cast 15 pieces and am in the process of painting like 5 right now. But I have a finished one. I'll show it to you guys and then I'll package it up too. But what we're going to do today is I need to cast about 15 more. So I'm going to do that with you guys. I'm going to explain like what I do and my method. Because some people do it differently. There's a lot of guys that I've talked to that kind of have their set PSI they like to work in. That's different times and stuff like that. So I'll explain kind of what I do and what works for me. I'll also explain the resins I use so you guys can understand that a little bit too and how that works. So that's what we'll kind of do. And then I'll also be sanding to prep my figures for primer. So that's a little bit of what we're going to do today.
Nice.
Yeah, man. They should be done in like a couple weeks. It just takes a while to paint. Like, I want them to all look nice, obviously.
Very
Doctor
tedious.
Strange. Is that Daniel? Doctor Strange? So what are you guys doing before I get going? I want to finish a beer first. Get a cold one.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying being off a couple of days. That's all. You know.
What's that?
I said I'm just enjoying being off for a couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow I got to go into work tomorrow until 4, and then I'm off until Friday.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you got 4th of July, and yeah, it sucks they don't let you have the whole, time off. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Justin says, "Hey, Mom, how are you?" So I'm obviously doing a live stream. My mother's in the chat. Say hello.
Nice.
Well,
I'm going to do a demo of like casting figures for these guys and kind of explaining what I do and how I do it. So
Very cool.
4 hours. Cool.
Hello, Darren's mom.
Mm-hmm. Hood, how are you? I know you're Hood, Mom. You're the hoodest mother ever. You raised me. Hi, Darren's mom. I love it that my mom comes to my live streams. It makes me feel good.
Excellent. So that should inspire you to do a Jean-Claude Van Damme figure.
Yeah. Well, Mother, these are my friends. This is Craig, Phil, and Tony.
Hello.
Nice to make your acquaintance.
Nice to officially meet you. What's up, Jordan? Do you have the chat, Craig?
I'm trying to open up my phone. Why, is there a question?
Yeah.
Well, let me get to it.
She says hi.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Duke says hi.
Mama Duke says hi. Okay. Let's see. Let's pick up my phone.
No, I don't even know where to get that Dead Alive baby figure. I want that. I want to know who did it. I want to know who made it.
I didn't see on the box.
I don't know. I haven't seen the box.
Doesn't Phil have it?
Yeah, Phil got it from somebody. I don't think they posted in the House of Horror. Like they said, this is us. We're the ones who did this little box of horror, and they showed that and the troll figure. I wasn't able to find it. I do have the chat open, but I can't find. Damn, fellas.
What are you looking for?
Oh, you asked me if I had open, so I thought there was a question.
Oh, no. I was just seeing if,
Yeah, no, I got open now. Okay.
if
I'm looking. Where is this question? And
did you see that the It motion statue came out?
That's the thing you ordered?
Through Entertainment Earth, that one we pre-ordered?
No, I didn't pre-order that one. That was only you.
Oh, yeah, I backed out of that, man. You can actually get it cheaper than what the pre-order was. I saw on sites.
Oh, how's that gone down? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with the. Once I saw they were making the NECA Ultimate of it, I was good. The statue isn't that much bigger, where it inspired me to do that.
Yeah.
So.
I think the NECA one comes out soon too.
Yeah, well, I feel it's supposed to. It just, if you look, they just keep sliding. July becomes August, which is good because they wait to charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one plus to it.
The NECA Pennywise.
Yeah, they're gonna look great. I wish
many Pennywise figures.
Hmm?
I do.
Well, yeah, you have the big one, the package dual one.
Everyone Martin did.
You finally got the original one?
No, that's the only one I'm missing. But like, there's already what?
Yeah, no, you got the other three. Yeah.
Oh, the NECA Pennywise is out already.
Yeah.
Is it already out? Yeah.
People are saying they got it.
Wow.
I gotta call Silver Snail.
Yeah, I ordered mine from what is it, Big Bad Toy Store, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's why I pre-ordered like all the stuff that was coming out.
Yeah.
You know, that'll be cool when it comes. Like, yeah, it looks good. I wish, I hope it does come out because they have Tim Curry is actually doing a signing with Mint Authentics, and Beckett will be there to certify it, which is important because they won't like a lot of Tim Curry signing if they're not alive. The companies don't do it because of the way it comes across now. So that'd be a really cool figure to get autographed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think the signing ends like gotta get it to them by August 15th.
Are we going to Monster Mania or what?
Wow, so abrasive, damn it. Yeah, even if we're not staying, we definitely can go down there. Even if we're not gonna stay.
Saturday or Friday. So I have to request off Friday if we're doing
Well,
that.
if we're not staying, it's probably better be down there Saturday. You get the whole day. I mean, if we can stay, it'd probably go down to stay Friday. But you know,
Saturday is when it's going to be crazy. But I guess that's the best time to go.
yeah, that's the thing too. That might not be a bad point. It was if you watch the videos that people put up this year, Saturday was horrible.
Yeah.
But maybe they may go down Friday, hang out, make the trek back. I don't know. Yeah, we'll definitely going down. As far as staying or not, I don't know. Me losing that quest kind of gave me a little bit of a hit, but we'll see. Yeah.
Doctor Strange says that that NECA Pennywise, I guess the Bill Skarsgård one should come with the Georgie arm.
That would have been cool.
Definitely.
I didn't see the accessories that it came with.
It came with the boat.
Alternate heads, isn't it? Like
Okay.
hands.
And it came with the boat.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna look good. They always kill the ultimates.
yeah.
You know.
All right, I'm gonna grab a beer and then we're gonna get started.
Nice.
I gotta get something going here.
I'm really excited for the Reanimator, the real toy one.
I didn't know that Reanimate was doing
Yeah.
That's neat. The thing that kills me right now is I'm a big Supernatural fan. I tell people that, and like they don't have figures, but they made one of that, like the 1/6 scale. I just don't know if I'd ever spend that much money on just a brand new release of a figure.
What was it going for?
Well, like 200, like all the 1/6 scales. You know, like that's the one that has all the fancy, intricate details, and you know, like the people who collect them, I don't know.
Do you do any of the cars? Like I know there's Supernatural.
Well, I know I did get the it was like $80. It comes with like the guy sitting in it. It was like an Entertainment Earth exclusive. It has the Enochian symbols on it. So I do have the Impala, and I got some pop stuff from them, but they don't really make a lot. Listen, they made Buffy, they made Angel, they made Charm figures. I wish they made Supernatural figures. That'd be badass. My opinion, you know, like it's only been around for it's only going on its 14th season.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I think they even made Vampire Diary figures. Like that's but
oh yeah, they did.
You know, I like that. Darren's like, yeah, I got him. Those and his Twilight figures battle it out every now and then.
Yeah, I have a bunch of shit coming in the mail the next couple of months for sure.
I don't have a lot coming. I have I think I had the collector's case because I got it because I wanted the Douche Crew auto. That might be the only thing I'm waiting for in the mail at the moment. You know, I got the BAM box today, which I got because I wanted Matthew Willard, which worked out well because I got the mask.
Nice.
You know, and unlike the first time they did the Skeet Ulrich mask, like this is like the real mask. It's not like the piece of plastic. So, well, that's not bad.
One of the Dead was saying he wants the NECA Fog cloth figure.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it! What's his name? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Dun dun dun.
I can't think of what's his name. Let's come on, Phil. You gotta know it off the top of your head.
Good night.
I have one of his figures already too, hanging in my
All right, Mom, I love you.
Blake, right? Blake.
Mama Dukes is leaving, guys.
Bye, Mama.
Good night.
Bye, Mom. I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, darling.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I'm going to get started. Pretty much what I'm going to do tonight is if you have any questions in the process of making figures or how to get started, what supplies I use, stuff like that, I'm going to try to explain as in-depth as I can about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it this way. Because I know some of you guys that are watching are toy makers, and a lot of you guys are interested in this. I know Tony's been messing around with stuff. I know Phil's been trying to do some stuff. So it's hopefully going to be an informative type of thing that I'm going to do tonight. We're obviously going to bullshit like we always do and drink beer and talk. But,
There you go.
again, there's going to be times when my compressor is running where I will silence the audio so you guys don't get your ears blown out. Usually this is a 3-gallon tank that I use. I should upgrade and go more, obviously. But it will kick on, or it's going to start, and it's already filled at 100 PSI. And I'll pretty much explain what I'm going to do. This is kind of like the, I don't know, third or fourth stage in the process. Obviously, you have to sculpt something or want something to cast. In this case, I'm doing a limited run for Nightmare Toys. We're going to do an exclusive 30 run of Creature on a Rock that you can get only at their site through them. I had sculpted the creature the other day, kind of laying on the rock. You guys can see there. And the finished product will look something like this. This is the prototype that you can see there. He's kind of just hanging out.
Oh, very cool.
On the rock. So what this is going to look like, as an example, will be something similar to this. And I'm kind of curious because I actually haven't put it in a package with the lily fern things yet. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see this together. And then I'll show you guys what I did. Actually looks really cool. So what I do and what I've been doing with a lot of my new busts, not only for cost purposes, but I realize that a lot of people that collect Zero Resin Co., a lot of people take out their figures. There's some guys that keep it all in, but Phil, for example, had his all out, did a photo on our thing the other day, and they just look badass. I obviously only really have my prototypes, so mine are out of package as well most of the time.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go. These bags are kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. You got to make sure you get the right size. Okay, well, this is crudely on there, but you can get the hint. It will look something like this.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. And then I will punch it.
And I agree with what you said. All my Zero Resin stuff is open. It just looks nicer for display purposes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Craig. Attaboy.
What happened? I think the Zero Resin stuff might be the only stuff I have opened regularly. Let me see.
And there you have it.
Neat.
Okay. So something similar like that will be at Nightmare Toys. So I'm excited about that. So what we're going to do is lock this. So what we're going to do is we have our mold. Okay. It's the mold of the piece. Obviously, we're like 3 or 4 steps in the process. I will go back at some point when I do my next piece, and I'll show you guys the molding process and how to do it and what I use and stuff like that. If you're interested, just because you want to know, I typically use Human 30 just because I don't degas mine. I should degas mine. it just comes out good every time, usually for me. I'm probably going to be switching over to Mold Star, most likely for my next run when I buy more, just because I hear it's really, really good. Now that I have the pressure pot working really well, I'm going to degas it. And basically what that means is I'm going to be taking the air bubbles out of it prior to pouring it in. Obviously, you want less air bubbles into the actual silicone when you're making a mold, right? So it doesn't pick any of that up in detail of whatever you're doing. So we have our mold here. What I typically do is rubber band them, depending on the size and the certain shape of molds. Depends on how you do it. Like, for example, here's a figure mold from one of the past. This is actually the Nosferatu mold. Okay. So it depends on how you make it. I pretty much would bust like a block mold. Yes, they're kind of cool looking. I kind of build my boxes out of hot glue and like prior to shipping boxes. You just go to the store and actually just grab them. Right? It's free cardboard. You might not be able to ship it, but you can use it for so many other things. When you start doing this type of thing, and you realize the cost that it costs and your time that it takes, you start realizing that you need to start reusing things. Okay, you need to start reusing things. If you can get something that is somewhat of a tool to what you're doing for free, utilize that. You know, like the little thing like picking up boxes at the post office for free, just so you can use them to build your boxes for silicone molds, right? So you'll start realizing that everything has a cost, and when you're trying to sell something or you're just trying to put it out there for friends, obviously it costs money, right? Like nothing in the world is for free, you know what I mean? Am I talking too fast?
No, not at all, man.
Okay. So basically what we have here is we have a mold, and what I did is I had split it. So again, I will show you in a future video when you do it how to cut the mold and how to separate certain pieces of the mold. If there was like a spot in between, how you would cut that, or if it was between the legs of the figure. Because if you think about it, the mold will go into that spot. You're going to have to cut that through the mold at some point. So it all depends on what yours is. So what I typically do is I will give it what I call the baby slap from the last run, because I didn't use it until last night. So what I do is I just slap it like an ass cheek. You know what I mean? Give it a little slap-a-rini.
Anyone on the outside of the basement door isn't sure what's going on down there.
What's that?
Anyone on the outside of the basement door isn't sure what's going on down there. Is he building something, or is he having alone time?
So what I do, I give it that slap. I make sure there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
I usually take an air can because I have this set up for the pressure pot. I'll just use this, but you just want to clear it. And then you should always use, when you're casting, some sort of mold release. Okay, use the Smooth On. I think it's a Smooth On 200 or something like that. It's hard to find it like regular stores. You can find it like art supply stores and stuff like that. But you always want to use some kind of lubricant. The resin gets, I think, above 200 degrees Fahrenheit when it's curing. Fully burn you. It's not safe to not wear gloves. And I'm actually going to not be wearing gloves for this because I used my last set last night. So you always want to be super careful when you're pouring resin.
So just to make sure, you just say you should wear gloves, but you're like, I'm not going to wear gloves just now.
Well, I've done this so many times that like I know my rhythm.
Okay.
But as somebody that's just starting out, you're going to realize with resin, there's pretty much, depending on what you're using and what I use, it's like a 2.5 minute work time. What that's going to mean is I have 2 minutes to mix the resin, pour it into the mold, put the mold in the pressure pot, lock the pressure pot, set it to, I like to set it starting at 60 PSI, okay? I'll explain that more once I actually do this, but, and like where I leave my settings and stuff, but for right now, what we're gonna do is this is cleaned out. There should be no debris in there from last night. So I'm gonna take my mold release. I'm gonna give it a nice, not too much, kind of separate it out, right, with my fingers. Get in there in the face. And then I'll take a quick dry. The reason I do that is the resin I'm using today is an all white resin. Okay, so this is going to dry similar to this. Okay, so like a white, just what you think of. When I do other projects, I use something called Color Pro, which dries clear. This is when I can add pigments Just for example, here's a cobalt blue that I actually use this on the blueberry ashes, so you kind of see what that color is like. I have a green, just different colors. Sometimes I do glow in the dark stuff, different glow pigments. You know, it all depends. So if you want to use, when I'm pouring resin, I'll explain what you'd want to do if you wanted to add a dye as well. Okay, so this is good. I'm going to put some rubber bands on it. Stick it into my pressure pot. Get it in the position. I also want to explain when I pour the resin, I'm going to be hitting it directly on this flat spot and letting it slowly cascade off. That will eliminate like some bubbles. The pressure pot, the purpose of that is to compress all of the bubbles down to a small size. That's basically what it's doing. Some people also use a vacuum to suck the bubbles out, but I find, and most people find, if you crush the bubbles down to compact them, it's basically clear. So basically how my pressure pot is I will set this down, I will lock it up. I have the pressure gauge here. This is the intake air valve that I'll have open, so the air will go in. I also have my safety valve and my release valve closed, okay? At the end, when the pressure is there and I want to let it go after about 15 minutes, I'll release the pressure, and you guys will see what that's like. But this is basically how I'm going to have this set up to start. Another thing you need to get familiar with for using a pressure pot is how you're set up, okay? Because you only have limited time, like this one I'm using only has a 2-minute work time. So I have to work super quick. So when you guys see me do that, you're going to see me kind of just like throwing down real quick. So you have to be very careful. Know your equipment and know how you're going to stick it on. Because if you're moving, you're fumbling, you're trying to lock these, and it's hitting other things, you're going to lose the time, right? So know your machine. I mark my stuff with a Sharpie on the top, so I know kind of the direction I need to be. So I lock them on quick. See what I'm saying? That's something that just little things that can help time. Okay, so what we're going to do is last night this was my pour. Again, I like to recycle, so I already have this pre-marked. I don't know if you can see a green marker with the level that I'm going to need. The resin that I use is a part A and a part B. It's a 1-to-1 mixture. There are different resins out there where you have to do like measurements, and there's like a little bottle of cure, but I don't mess with that. I just do 1-to-1s. So I'm going to need obviously another cup, because this is where the actual finished product settled that I didn't use from the last one, and it's hard, so I'm going to get a new cup. So we got a fresh cup here. I'm using the old one from the one before, right? What I'm checking for, though, is there's no debris that's going to come in or anything like that. I'll even reuse the stick sometimes. This one's a little junked up, so I'm going to use another one. So we have a fresh stick. And we're going to get going. So first of all, before you mix the 2 minutes doesn't start, okay? So you can have these 2 separated in cups for as long as you want, but as soon as you mix them, it's 2 minutes. So what we're going to do is I already have my tank, my compressor filled to 100 PSI. That's it shut off. Once I put the piece in, I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to throw the I'm going to throw the compressor on, and I'm going to leave it go for about 2 minutes. It's going to be loud. If it's unbearable, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll keep it on just so you can see one. And then I'm going to close the valve. And what I do is I keep it at about 45 PSI for 15 minutes. So I'm going to timer it. The cure time on this, it's a 2-minute work time, but it's a 15-minute demold time. So a lot of people, it all depends on who you talk to. A lot of people say lower pressure for longer is better. So for example, 25 PSI and let it sit in the pressure pot for an hour. I don't like that, and I also don't really have the time to do that when I'm trying to do this. So what I do is a 45 PSI for 15 minutes, and then I slowly extract the air. It's slowly coming down. I have the one valve open just slightly, so it slowly works from probably 60 when I first start, and it kind of teeters down to about 45. It slowly goes down, and then I let a slow release. It's just kind of what works for me. So I'll show that to you as we do it. It might get loud here in a second. But what I also want to do is I at least want to do 2 or 3 of these with you guys, because what I do when I'm waiting for a piece to go or work, I will start sanding on another piece and get it ready for primer. So let's get started. Let's just do one. Again, I should have gloves. So here's the part B. You always want to start with part B. The reason you want to start with part B is because this is often, if you're going to do a mix, hold on, something came up on my computer. If you want to do a mix, this is where you're going to add your color or your powders or pigments or whatever you're going to do in part B. All right, so I have my pre-measured cup. I'm going to take my part A. Now, again, once I mix these two, I have 2 minutes to get it in there before it starts to set. So I'm going to do this quick. The other thing about when you pour this in the mold and why I explain this flat surface to you is because what I'm going to do is what's called a long pour, which is when I have the mixture, I'm going to kind of have it up high so it has a thin stream when it hits that. That's going to be one of the best things you can do prior to pressure potting your resin to keep it as bubble free as possible. So that's what I'm going to do. So we have our two mixtures here. Again, if you wanted to add dye to this, you could. I'm going to mix this into the other one. And you don't want to stir like crazy and kick up bubbles. You want to give it a nice stir. But again, you only have 2 minutes. And I like to get in there before it sets at all. And I'm doing a slow pour. I'm hitting that ridge that I was saying I was going to hit. And it's kind of slowly cascading off that and filling the cavity. You want to make sure not to over pour in a pressure pot because it's sometimes a nightmare. And we'll get all over the inside. So we got that poured. I already kind of have my stuff marked like I was saying. Get it on there nice. You'll build your own rhythm as you do this. It just takes time and practice. So I have this locked down nice. I'm going to connect. And then I'm going to throw it over to the pot. Okay. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm doing now is I threw all the air over to it and left it at 60 psi. I'm going to let it be at 60 psi for probably about a minute and a half, and then I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to pull the air. The tank will still run until it fills back up to 100 psi. Then we'll be set for the next one. Okay?
Yeah.
So we can call this a smoke ring.
It's so exciting.
It's definitely neat. I wish I had that ability to just like make like, hey, I want to make something. Let me do it. I mean, I can, but I'd like people to be able to see it and know what it is. I'd be like the kid who like drew a picture of a horse. Look, it's a horse. No, it's not. Oh man, I did get the video up, Phil. Obviously, you can't see it right now, but it's finally loaded.
Nice. What did you think of Hunchback?
Oh, it was very cool. It was very cool. I like the fact it came with the gargoyle.
Yeah.
Like I like that. That's why these Diamond Selects. Like, you know, I'm surprised they went so long without. And I did notice the Bride of Frankenstein one isn't in quite as big of a packaging, but she's the bride, so she's got to be included.
Yeah. And did I give you anything that you already had?
Movies, I think I have a Blu-ray version of just about everyone you gave me, with the exception maybe of Creepshow 2, because I'm looking. I know there's like the Arrow Blu-ray one of that I haven't picked up yet, but
Right.
I'll definitely find good homes for them.
And the pins?
The pins, no. I wanted I like the Michael Myers pin, but I wanted the Bride and I've seen them before, and I just never got. I don't go to Hot Topic. I don't go to the mall in general. Like, I haven't set foot in a mall in a very, very long time. You know, like I don't think to just go to Hot Topic's website and go, let me see what pins they have. You know, because there's so many other sites you'd go to for that. But I just got to get a giant bulletin board that'll sturdy enough, and I'm thinking I'll put all my pins on just one giant board, because there's so many even now that are just sitting homeless, and then some of the other ones that could move around so that you can be with their appropriate counterparts. I try to have all the Jasons together, Freddy's together, etc.
Yeah, better groups.
But because the thing, let's see. I can't really see. Yeah, I guess you can. Like the giant black one there, that's loaded, like with pins. But then I have like 6, 7 other things just randomly strung out the wall rooms that are smaller. But that's the one that is most comprehensive when you try to like come up with themes. But
did you end up getting that huge? Is it 13 ghosts pin?
I did. The very first one of it. So I don't know. I know he did. There was color variants to that, but I didn't get that. I got the very first one that came. What is that? That's was it Black Cat? Black Cat Studios?
Yeah,
I think it's Black Cat. But there's some companies that do paint. Like Black Cat is one of them. Horror Host is another one. Knee High Horror. They really do kill it with some of the stuff they do. Like the Horror Host had the whole Horror Hand series. I wish they kept going with that. Like I think they stopped at like 11. And then he has Black Cat has the Leading Lady series. And right now I think he's up to number 8, the Neon Demon. But he had Linda Brea, he had Danielle Harris, he had Aubrey Plaza, Rosario Dawson, Rose McGowan. Black Snake Moan, Christina Ricci. So, a lot of cool stuff. What about you? You're becoming more of a pin guy, Phil, or not really? Like, I know you have a pin collection, but...
Yeah, I like pins, but I'm picky choosy.
Mm-hmm. See, I like pins because initially anyway, it's a cheaper way to collect. Yeah. And then you realize, well, it is, but when you buy that many more things that are 7
you go down the rabbit hole. Then you go down the rabbit hole.
Okay, so the compressor shut off. So now this is filled with pressure. I started at 60 psi for the first 2 minutes because the 2-minute time is the working time for this. So hopefully eliminate any of those bubbles prior to it starting to get hard. As you can see, it's only been in there for about 4 minutes. This was the cup that was used. It's super hot. That's why it's important not to get it on your skin when you're mixing it. Again, some of these go over 200 Fahrenheit. Super hot. It will definitely burn you. It takes forever to get off your skin, even if you get it on before it reacts.
Yeah.
Either one of them, it's like oil. You can't get it off your skin. It's terrible. Your hands always wear gloves. Obviously, I'm not because I ran out last night, but you should. So this is filled with air. I'm going to let this go for about a beer. I have a timer set. I really don't go by timers too much. I try to keep it 15 minutes, but I usually judge from what's left from my pour. I always leave a little bit because sometimes you can reuse these for little bases.
Let's see how it reacts. Okay.
And cut the cup, crumble it out. You can use it for a base for something.
Nice.
Or a stand. Sometimes I will drill in it, and I'll put in like a. Let's see. I'll put in something like this and like sculpt a head on it, right? Just pop it on there, and you can work. Okay. So how is everyone? Is this cool or not?
No, it's interesting to see how it's done. Plus, since you're all being serious, I'm trying to avoid like connecting you to like a sex ed teacher because a lot of shit you're saying can if you just take it out of context. Yeah. I'm sitting here, I'm enjoying the laughs. I'm not saying anything for those who are here to learn because but when you're like, oh, the pressure, it builds up. You don't want to get on you. It's sticky. Yep, I got you. We're good.
Oh, damn it.
By the way, your figure should be here tomorrow.
What's that?
Your figure should be in my possession tomorrow.
Which one?
You.
Oh shit!
The custom blind did for me.
I gotta see that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So what I'm slowly doing is, like I said before, I can completely cut it off and keep the PSI where I want it, right? But what I like to do is just do a slow relax of the air out of it. So I have the safety valve just slightly, like a hair open, just so it's letting a little bit of air out, and went from 60 PSI all the way down to 0. So I'm just going to let it run its course.
So every one of these you do takes at least, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes just to get the mold done. Not even talking about painting it.
And it honestly depends on what resin you're using. Some people will use a resin that's a half an hour work time, and like 2-hour demold time. Like, you know, it all depends on what you're doing it for. If I was going to do a clear figure, right? When I did the ash bus, if I want something super clear, no bubbles, you want to consider the PSI and how long you're doing it, right? So it all really depends. Because these are being painted, the bubbles aren't even really an issue, but I just do it for safety because I want a smooth cast. I don't want a lot of shit. And you'll see when I pull out this mold, there's going to be spurs on some of the pieces. That's when I bring out the Dremel and I work on the piece. This also gives me an opportunity at this point, prior to primer, to make any adjustments with the sculpt that I want. So you'll see what I'm going to do with this is there's some spots in the eyes that didn't come out the greatest, so I have to fix them. There's a spot like behind the neck that I'm going to fix. And then what I do is I'm also going back in and reshaping the gills.
Yeah.
The Dremel. What I have here is this little cylinder piece on it. So
Brian's
you just get to know your tools and shit, you know?
Brian's asking, how much does a setup like this cost?
If you want a pressure pot, you can get the pressure pot itself with the gauge for $100. If you want the same type of compressor that I'm using, it's like $70. And then you're just going to have to get about 5 or 6 plumbing parts with shutoff valves and stuff like that. You have to Frankenstein. I don't know if you can see mine, but mine has silicone all over the shit to just make it airtight. It looks gnarly, but that's it. You know.
I actually have another question. How many pulls can you do out of one mold?
Well, this one I have to do 30, so I'm thinking I might have to do a second mold, depending on how bad it gets. But I can always usually fix stuff with Dremel.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes you think, like, when you see some of these people that do like their custom like figures or custom statues, and like they give you a price and you're like, that's too hard. And when you think the amount of work that goes into them, it's not.
The thing is, you have to. Resin is not cheap.
Yeah, no, I know that part.
You know, the 2 gallon or the part 1 and B of what I'm using right now is $160. Okay, so you have to figure. This pool, I probably have about $3. $4 in resin. And you paint. You gotta sand. You gotta do shit like that. I probably am doing like an hour and a half to 2 hours in each figure.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. A lot of respect for that work.
But you have to like doing it. That's the thing. You can't. Like, I like to have fun making figures, but then when you have to fill an order, a lot of them, it's like it just becomes work.
It can become. Well, that's the thing. Anything. That's the one of the words. It's everyone wants to get like a job and get paid doing something they love, but if you do that, it invariably will affect your enjoyment of whatever that is just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but hopefully not enough.
It's not like crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna let it rest for the duration of the demold time. But that's the thing. A lot of this time is waiting around. So because this is the first one I'm doing tonight, so I'll take this out. I'll already be putting another one in there while I'm sanding.
So yeah,
and then it's
not as much downtime.
You know, and then by the time I have the 30 I need, which I need about 15 more, then I'll start doing the painting process, and I'll do that for a few days.
Excellent.
You know.
Well, anyway, guys, I got to jump off and get supper going, so I might pop back in later if you're still on.
Yeah, sure, that's right, Phil.
Thanks for chilling, dude.
Yeah, dudes.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh,
Brother, man.
Brian says, thanks for sharing knowledge. He says most people are dicks and never share info.
Yeah, because people are idiots.
It's like, this is my secret. You must not know how I do this.
I'll tell you guys what I do. I mean, it's all about the art. It's all about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you can figure it out. Somehow you can figure it out.
Frankenstein says, I'd rather just sculpt and send the piece to the caster. Elizabeth says, material, time, and love put in is worth the price.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a strong believer in that.
Amen.
So what else is going on, well, mate, for this?
So did you intentionally wear the Bob Ross shirt today for this?
Well, originally what I was going to say...
Is that like the judgment call?
Well, originally what I was going to say when I started this was you always want to make sure, because then once you're sanding, you're going to get shit all over you. You're going to be wiping yourself, especially when I just wipe on my pants. So I was going to say wear a shitty shirt that you don't care about getting fucked up, but I couldn't find my bandbox shirt. So
there you go. You used them in the bathroom already.
Yeah, I know, I did. I was looking for it though.
But I'm just waiting for you to be like at some point, and then we'll put a little cloud up, a little happy cloud right up over here. That was my favorite like cheesy joke back in the day. Like, what if like all the places that Bob Ross is painting is really where he hid the bodies, and right over here is where we have the one. Oh God, that guy was great back in the day. I mean, he's deceased now, but.
I did get this at Walmart. This was a great shirt, dude. You know how they have like the $7.50 like shirt aisle? You can get like t-shirts.
Yeah.
This was one of them.
Plus, now all the Bob Ross shirts they have out there are Deadpool, so you actually have a legitimate Bob Ross shirt.
I should just always paint in the shirt.
You're going old school, man.
And just put it on when I paint. Just wipe paint all over and keep it always fun.
Just like I said, but you got with your beard, you're like the reverse Bob Ross. He's got the hair. You're working on the beard.
Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Sucks you have to go back to work. Thanks for watching, though. I do appreciate it. I have to do this shit anyways, so it's nice to be able to talk to people.
You might as well BS with people while you do it. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
I'm just waiting for my timer to go off.
I guess this is sweet. Oh, what were you saying, Tony?
Well, I was going to ask him, like, usually how much time do you wait?
15 minutes. I follow the demold time because I find that if I was just to pour it and keep it air dry, right, not addressing the bubbles issue at all, I feel like it takes a little bit longer, but when you're using pressure and you're putting the heat under pressure as well, it kind of bakes it quicker, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's keeping all that heat inside, too, because it's locked in airtight. It's not letting any of that heat escape.
Are you going to be letting people know where you buy this stuff?
The resins I use? I actually... When I started making figures, I went by a company, or was buying my resin from a company called SRC. So it's a funny story that like it was on my mind so much that I was like SRC. So we came up with Serial Resin Co. Killer figures and collectibles because we were trying to make it. We wanted somehow for it to say serial killer. We're trying to think of clever ways to do that. Serial Resin Co. Killer figures and collectibles. So that's what actually gave us the idea. But I do use exclusively Specialty Resin Co. Let's go to specialtyresinco.com. I use their Fabricast 50, which is what I'm using today, and I also use their Color Pro. The best resins at some of the better prices that I've ever used. I swear by them. I've turned other friends onto them. But it all really depends on what you want to use and when you feel comfortable. So.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to let the rest out. So there wasn't much. Timer just went off. And again, I like to, when I move, I like to kind of rest my lid where I had it last time just for a quicker reaction time when I'm locking the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Something I do. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the mold out. And you can see. So there's a little bit of spillage. So what I do is I break that off. I try to get a clear bottom as much as I can. Move anything that might have fallen on the outside. I'll bust the rubber bands off. Then we have our piece. So what I do is I slowly find which direction my cut marks are, and I just slowly work it. You want to be careful when you're especially doing a bust, because a lot of this, you can see here, the silicone is really relaxed. It's really tiny and thin. That will break off. So the next one, that will be more exposed. So every time you pull away from the silicone, it will pull away from the mold. So I just slowly work it, and that's why you want to use the mold release, because it'll be easier to get out. Okay? So I just slowly work it down on the sides, and then I kind of go from angles just to kind of work the face out. And then you pop the mold. Now you guys are going to see there's some spurs that I have to clean up that just happen at different spots. There's a lip part I have to clean up. But you guys will see I'm going to pour one right now again. I'm going to cut off the sound for a little bit, and then once that stops and there's one resting, I'm going to Dremel with you and explain what I do.
Nice.
There could be little parts, right, that you can break off because it's still kind of in a fragile state. So sometimes you can just flick your finger, break it off. I just got one off the eye. And these are just imperfections in the mold. But this could easily be worked if you take your time with it.
Yeah.
You'll see this will look a lot different once I sand it.
It was.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up for another pour. I already have the compressor set at 100 PSI. And again, what I do is I raise it to 60 and let it slowly work its way down for 15 minutes with this particular resin. So what do we do next? Slap that ass. When you're stressed out, you just want to slap that ass.
There's the sex ed teacher.
Oh yeah, and that Michael Myers is coming out in October.
Which probably means much later.
Yeah, probably.
Nothing
like
comes out when it's supposed. I'm still waiting on that Freddy puppet.
Oh, that got pushed back so many times.
You know that, and you know what was supposed to come out? It was supposed to come out last month, so it's only a month behind. The re-release of the big Spider Gremlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, I got that too. I ordered that. I mean, it wasn't like the. It was like the figure one. It wasn't the or the box one, not like a Trick or Treat Studios one, but still.
Yeah.
And as much as I haven't bought a pop in a long time. I saw them making a Greta pop. I might have to buy one because that Greta statue, every time I look for it, is getting too pricey.
I almost sold all my pops already.
Yeah. Well, I haven't bought one. I actually just traded a couple away to Brian, and I have a whole bunch of others I'd like to move, but it's so much fucking work.
It sucks.
It's so much work because of the content of like, well, is it the shape? And like, so I almost need a place to bring it and go, hey, here's all my pops. Give me 40%. I'll be happy.
Because it's like every time I get rid of my pops, I get like family members come, they bring me them.
No, that's cool though. That's different. I don't count that. That's a scene that you can rep with. You can live with that one.
That'll be gone. It'll be gone soon enough.
That's not a bad one. That's the scene one. That's really neat. You know what? I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog in.
As you guys can see, I'm definitely speeding up the process because I'm not explaining it. You guys can see this is kind of the pace you want to be at. You want to bust shit out.
Hi, Sasha.
What up, Victoria? Yo, Victoria says what's up.
What's up, dude? Come on, fuck. Oh man, fuck. Positioned it wrong. So again, I'm going to close the mic for just a little bit for 2 minutes, and then I'll cut it back on.
Nice.
Shit, a lot of stuff goes into that, eh?
Absolutely.
Fuck. So much. It seems a lot easier just making one.
Well, like the one guy said, he'll do it and then send it off.
Yeah.
But it's like now I have a newfound respect. I always said respect, but like whenever I order something from the clay guy,
Yeah.
and like it takes a long time to get to you. Now it's like, oh, okay, I understand. I mean, if it's in stock, he'll tell you it's in stock, and bing, bang, boom, you got it. But if it's not, it's like, oh, I see. He's got to use the mold. He's got to make. He's got to paint. He's got,
Yeah.
Which in your head you know, but damn it, you want that instant gratification.
Yeah, he also sells this stuff unpainted, eh?
Yes, he does. He does, which is neat. But that's not, The closest I'll get to the creative aspect is, when I was younger, I used to like to do it. I'll put together like a model,
I enjoy those too.
I don't like the painting ones. Like, I don't get, I mean, it could be super intricate part-wise, that's fine. Just leave the paint to a professional.
Yeah, the last one I did was the Michael Myers one.
Yeah, okay, that came. Yeah, you know what? I keep seeing that. I keep meaning to pick one of those up, and that's like, you know what? Damn it! I wanted to get that set that has that in Rumus. But who knows?
The painting is like, I don't know, it's my favorite. I enjoy the painting.
Well, that's not as bad. There's no really tiny intricate spots. I don't think in that one, right? That's not as bad. Like I might have fun with that, and like put like a Freddy Krueger sweater on him.
Yeah.
So have you seen the? Have you?
What?
I guess anyone in the chat. Have you seen the trailer for? I think it's a new Bill Moseley movie. The something Minutes to Midnight. It's like it looks like a traditional slasher flick.
Okay. Yeah.
But it looks pretty good, and I can't find any info on. Is it coming to a theater? Is it coming?
I think it's going straight to DVD.
Yeah, I can't find any info on it though. Like when I look for it, they bring up like there's another movie with a similar name, and that's all that comes up. But like the trailer looks funny. Not funny. The trailer looks like a traditional fun slasher flick.
Yeah.
Which is right up my alley. But who knows? Who knows?
How hot is it where you're at?
How hot is it where I'm at? Well, in the air conditioning right now, it's not too bad. But no, we were over 100 yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We were over 100 yesterday, so it's definitely in the 90s now. That's why I didn't want to leave we have a big yard for my dog to run in. I didn't want to leave her out there too long. Although she wants to go out, and then she gets out there and she's by the door like, hey, what's up with this outside stuff? Let me back in. So she's back in.
Yeah, it was like 111 here in Toronto on Saturday.
Now everyone says the whole humid though too, right? Like, yes, that's the thing. Like until you experience when I went to Vegas and it was really hot, I finally understood what they meant by dry heat. You know what? Okay, that's true. You're right. It's not that bad. But when you hit humidity in 100, when you hit humidity in 80, you want to die.
Fuck.
Especially, come on, Tony. You're a big guy, but it's horrible. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
I should be able to call out of work. I can't come in. I can't come in today and teach. Why? There's no air conditioning.
Work's going to be fun the next couple of days, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like for my school, like they say there's no air conditioning. There is, but it's like tricky because the early classes, it's usually not on enough because people complain about in the morning. People complain about getting too cold, so then they lower it. You know, or they, you know, so then in the morning you gotta complain, hey, it's too hot, and then they'll make it cooler, but it takes a while for it to even affect you.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't, as a teacher, I can't go in like a t-shirt. You know. As an adjunct, I did. As an adjunct, I rocked plenty of t-shirts. But, you know, once you get hired full time, you got to be a little more professional than that.
Well, at least it's a short week. I got a bunch of shit to do at work, man.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, for me, this week, I'm actually off the rest of this week. And then I have, hey, you guys. You know what? There's some other figures I keep meaning to grab. The freaking Goonies figures. Have you seen them? Like the Goonies.
The reaction figures?
No, the real ones.
Oh.
Like there's actually like a really nice line, like of the Goonies. I thought about it. I'm gonna stay away from the Twisted Christmas. I looked at them all, and I think they butchered most of them.
They're not the best looking ones, but.
Like even Rudolph, like look good. Now I got a chance to see on a big screen, and it's like, I think I maybe the Jack Frost. That would be it.
Yeah, you know, Fingenstein says he has Sloth and Chunk.
Yeah, okay, there you go. You know, I know they make like it's neat. It's a neat set to have. It's one of those things you ever come across. You might not be actively looking for them, but if you hit a show that has them, and it's like, hey, let me see that. You know, I think that's why it took so long for me to get into these Diamond Select the big ones, because it's like, well, it's like the Munsters too by Diamond Select. I wouldn't mind picking up one day.
Yeah,
like the whole family, and then the werewolf uncle.
I have the reaction.
Not the werewolf uncle, the creature from Raccoon uncle.
Yeah, I have the reaction Goonies, the whole set.
I don't have the set. I have the reaction sloth. How
you guys doing?
Good. We're good. You?
Compressor just shut off. It refilled 100 psi. That's where this tank shuts off and is refilled, obviously, for the next one. So I have this in here. This is filled with pressure, and we're counting down the 15-minute demold time. So that's where we're at. We also just pulled out another one, so we can start working on this. As you can see, it needs some help. Okay. Anyone that tells you a silicone mold does not have variations throughout the process, no matter what brand you're using, Mold Star, everyone talks shit on this stuff, right? Eventually, after 10, 12, 15, 20 pulls, you're going to start to see variations where you're either silicone loss or just bleed out of the resin. You're always going to have to somewhat clean this up, okay? So that's what we're going to do here. You're going to see a big difference once I clean this up. That's the next step as we wait for this one. So I'm going to work on this while we talk. Let me know if this is too loud. Is that too loud?
No, it's just like when we talk to you when you're using the other toys.
How about this one?
No, it's not bad. It's fine.
Sure?
I think it's fine. Check out the chat. I think it's okay.
Because I really need this speed. But that one's too loud, so I'll use it before.
It got a little too high pitched there for a second.
I know. Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix up some of these parts. So I'll show you guys. First thing you want to do, obviously, is assess the piece. Get a game plan for it before you just start hacking away at it. Mm-hmm. So I kind of see what I need to do, so I'm going to get started. Pretty much what I'm doing now is I'm trying to take all the spurs off that I can that aren't supposed to be there. There's some little bit of bubbling on the rock behind his head, so I'm trying to clear them up. And also make the base so people don't get cut. with sharp edges, and then I'll move on to the piece. But this is the stage where you definitely want to wear clothes that you're willing to get dirty, because this shit goes everywhere. Resin dust.
Yeah. Now, should you be wearing do you worry about not wearing a mask, breathing that stuff in?
I should wear eye protection too. I've been hitting the eye a few times, but
even a mask.
fucking men don't wear glasses.
No.
Men who look to see wear glasses.
Yeah, men only wear glasses after they lose an eye.
It's just part of the battle wound, and I know Craig's going to say something ridiculous with that.
No, if it was a private chat, I would have hit you with so much worse by now. But since we're live, I've been a little more demure.
Is that a battery Dremel, or is that a plug-in?
Plug-in. I can run it off my air compressor if I want to.
Oh, okay.
Dude, if you're going to make resin figures, you need a Dremel. I'm telling you. No way around it. They're not that bad. Like $75 with the kit. Like, you need it. So what I'm doing now is addressing, there was a bubble in between the lips. So I'm doing that, and I'm cleaning up the upper lip a little bit. This is where, with this type of blade, I mean, you could do, I have ones that are cones. This one is kind of for cutting and sanding, like in tight areas. You can start to carve out your, like, if you want to make, like me, I'm going to try to make these gills more pronounced. So you can really see them put like edges and cuts in them, like it looks like gills. So this is time when you can fix what you need to fix.
Nice.
Does anyone have any questions in the chat?
No, there aren't any questions as of yet. Everyone's running out to get their own equipment. You know, it's the one thing that's dangerous about whenever you all get together and talk, and I'm seeing in the chat now, like someone mentions a product they didn't know existed, and then other people are looking now, oh, we find ways to get other people to spend money. You know what I'm talking about, Tony?
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, I do. Tristan, Darren and I do it to each other all the time. But I guess somebody like in the chat, Friday the 13th, is like, yeah, the sloth and chunk would be sweet. I'm going to probably book for this after I get off here later.
Yeah, they're a bit pricey. I went to go see. They're a little pricey.
They're not cheap. They're not crazy, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not cheap either. So it's like, what the hell?
I didn't know Mesco came out with those 7-inch.
Yeah, I don't know what company did. I think Joe has them, so he said it was Mesco. But they're nice. They look cool. The figures. They're well done. You know, I didn't even know it was a figure. Did you see Thayer do his like a haul the other day? He yanked out a Biggie figure.
Yeah.
I didn't even know a Biggie. Just about Thayer yanking out like the Biggie Mesco figure. And I think his wife was like, "Why are you buying that?" It's like, "Oh, it's cool."
Yeah, Mesco actually, they're stepping it up lately. They've been coming out with some pretty decent stuff.
Well, these are older though. I don't know what they've done.
I know, but I mean like the more recent stuff that's been coming out like last couple of months. Like they got that Michael Myers, and then they came out with The Exorcist. They came out with Jason, Friday the 13th, I think it's part 3.
See, I don't like the weird, like the cartoony creature, the versions they make of them.
Like Nomi looking.
Yeah. Which is good because I don't buy them then, and that's a plus to save the cash. But you know, like,
well, I know the 12-inch Michael Myers that they came out with. It's like a statue style.
Yeah. No, that's supposed to look legit.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that a while ago already.
Darren, you know what the big expense? You know what the thing is? You and I are looking for tonight, right?
What is that?
You don't forget what goes on sale tonight. Try third.
Full moon.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I can't afford it, dude. I thought about it. I really can't. I shouldn't.
I don't know. I've wanted one of her for so long, though. I got to see what it costs. But as long as it's not much different than they were, I think I'm going to snag it.
Yeah, but if I go buy it here in Canada, I'm going to be paying like $300 for it.
So you need that close U.S. connection where you can just, hey, cross the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is tough when you get. Whenever I see it, because there's a lot of YouTubers up in Canada.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I see like you throw in that extra. Wow, that sucks. Like, and I feel the pain too. Like every time you ship boxes up there, like the contest thing I'm doing now, I said out for far as Canada goes, as long as you were a sub, it's all good. Like any new subs from Canada can't right now. Yeah. Because that stuff adds. Like I sent some boxes Canada, like shipping. You get there, it's like that'll be like $48. That'll be $62. And it's like, what? Did I break something?
Yeah, because the thing is, when you send over, you got to make sure you send as a gift.
Yep.
If you send as a gift, you won't get that import fee. But
oh no, yeah, I do all the time. I send as a gift, like absolutely. Yeah. Like I send it, but they still, and like I never really clearly say what's in there either. It's like I've gotten packages again, and like some of you guys are great with the detailed descriptions you see. I'm just like, it's a bunch of toys. Like that's what I call it. I don't call it collectibles. I don't want them snooping around. That's toys. Some kids' toys.
That's the only thing that sucks about living in Canada. Everything's so much more expensive. I gotta order Fright Crate today. That's another one too. It's like shit. I'm paying like
I got that coming into that. So I mean, that's the Fight Crate with the werewolf one should be here. I think I got the email today. It's shipped.
Yeah, I messed up. I should have bought that one. I didn't.
Yeah. I was going to take a break from this month, but that cereal,
No.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I'm so torn because Darren is like, it's like this is time for me. Like, plus I just got hit with a like pretty big like the landscaping thing I talked to you about. Like, there's a lot more stuff that needs to be done, and I know you could say, well, you could always go do it yourself. I'm like, no. Not in the heat, and I don't have equipment. And then, so if you go out and buy like chainsaws and stuff, what are you really helping yourself out for? Or like the really good like herbicide. So I got hit with a little pricier than I thought there. And we're having a party here Saturday, and I had to get some supplies. So I like stuff adds up. So I'm like, well, no mystery boxes this month. And then it's like, that's Plus, I haven't even seen what Little Shop of Horrors next thing is. Like that comes out the 15th. Modern's gonna be launching the Shocker soon.
There's so much stuff going on.
Like what the? Yeah, I took a hit when that class got canceled. Like one class got canceled. That one class that was you get to spend some stuff class. But unfortunately. No one wanted a Summer 2 lifespan development. But what can you do? What can you do? And that's when I think of the selling of other stuff. And, I think just the pops is, if you can't sell them in post, it's too much of a headache. Because people like asking, well, what do you think? Is this good? So.
Well, I sold 31 pops in one lot.
Yeah.
And then I have another lot that I just put up with like 20 something of them. And then I just got my horror ones up, and then that's it. I'm done with pops. Fuck it.
I personally think the best reason to not be into pops anymore, I'm not going to knock them. To each their own. The ones that are rare are still going to be rare and still going to be worth money. But they make too many.
There
So
is too many.
as a collector, like, when you collect something, it's like, oh, I want to get that now. I want to get that now. I want to get, like they have so many lines of so many different versions. It gets a little intense, you know.
All right, sorry guys, I just finished dremeling. So what I do next is I take a paintbrush, a dry brush, and I clear it. I try to get all the dust out. And it just gets everywhere. But really get in the cracks of everything good. Because once you primer, it will stay, it will stick. So you want to do your best to get it off.
Now, would you benefit from getting like one of those like the things to use the keyboard? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So do that. You want to dry brush it first. Get it as clean as possible.
Darren, one step ahead of me.
That's kind of what we're left with.
No, I think that's a cool looking thing. I like how
laying on the rock.
Because you initially named them like the bait creature or something, right? Like a stone creature. What?
This creature on a rock.
This creature on a rock. I like the way. Definitely like the way that one looks.
Yeah. So
but he is my favorite of all of them, so it makes sense. Of the universal creatures.
Goes over to the paint station, and then it'll get a coat.
Oh, before you do anything, okay. I didn't know.
Primer coat, and then I'll start painting. Gets 2 primer coats.
You paint those with the airbrush, or you paint it by hand?
What's that?
Use the paintbrush, or do you use the air whatever? What do you paint it with? Paint it with a brush?
To blow it?
To put the primer on, do you just dip it in something? Do you like?
I use this for my primer.
Oh, okay.
Write it down. Okay.
This stuff's really, really good. It's like $5 a can, but it's totally worth it. It's really, really nice. It has really good coverage.
Are you painting it?
If I clear or matte coat my figures when I'm done, I usually use Crayon.
Yeah.
Color Master. It's really good sealant for the figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much my process.
You use the airbrush to paint them, or you use a paintbrush?
Both.
The creature. Do you paint it with an airbrush, or do you use both? Okay.
Well, my prototype I just hand painted because I wanted to get like a paint scheme.
Yeah.
The prototype won't. The figures won't be as dark. They're gonna be more pronounced with like a fluorescent green, so he kind of shines, like shimmers in the sun, like as if he's laying in the sun.
Cool.
So like this one's just the prototype. This one's for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See.
No, that's a cool etch. I use it. That's really well done.
I added some like underwater ferns and stuff like that. He's kind of sitting there and he's on the rock. Each one is hand signed on the bottoms.
Cool.
So yeah. That's what we're doing with that.
Definitely a involved process, but it's definitely nice to see each step of the way.
I haven't talked to Christy about that yet, Jordan, but I'm thinking about rolling up little doobies and putting them in his mouth too, because it'd be cool. It would set the piece off. We'll see. What up, Larry? So that's all I want to do for the stream, guys. If you want to jump in with us after this, please do. But I wanted to show you guys my process. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you have any questions about this stuff, I love talking about it. Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you through it. So yeah, you can always watch this back if you want to see me doing it again or the process, get into this sort of thing. But I will do more videos like this, like live, try and talk to you guys. Maybe I'll do it with molding, painting. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a painting one in like a couple days. But yeah, I want to say thank you for joining us. Boys, you have anything to say?
Nah, I'm good. Have a good one, everybody.
You're like,
Bye.
nah. What do you got, Tony?
I said bye.
Oh, why? Oh, why?
Why?
All right, guys, we love you. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.